Welcome to the customization section of this demonstration. This session explains you how customization can be done in Visual Hospital Managers uh, of various facilities of clinical symptoms or operation notes or medicine prescriptions, analytical data, all the documents that the software generates and so on. Let us look at the quick history of where this came from, the customization concept. If you look at this list, these are the doctors who have been associated with us all along since 1994. And when we started our first software for pathology lab development in 1994, we sat with all these people and we had a lot of discussions about what is that is important in a software for a doctor. So of course, customizing of symptoms, customizing of reports, customizing of documents is something which is very valuable to the doctor because what a developer can think of may not be clinically correct or may not be something that a particular doctor practices in his daily practice. So I think we all agreed that we need to provide a facility whereby a doctor can change almost all medical intelligence that a product contains. And this was not easy for us, but then we decided that this always remains a focus of our product development. Since then, we then further developed medical softwares for ENT surgeons, gynecologists, general surgeons, and almost 16 specialties. We also developed it for radiology, sonology, CT scan. And all along, we always had this punchline that if you do something, allow doctor to change it himself without coming back to us. This has really led to a situation where the product offers great customization facilities. A very simple example we can talk about very quickly. This is an examination finding form where a doctor would say pylori is present, so just click here. Edema is present, just click here. Go to another page of cardiovascular, have another symptoms and clicking options there. He may choose to have some text box where he can type in at the time of entering the information. He may also want a date box where he wants to enter a date. So all those options were thought about. And then I'll quickly show you how you can customize all these features. Um, Before that, just a quick look at what all this product covers. It customizes reception, it customizes patient's education requirements, then it provides facilities for discharge and documents, and you can customize every report like patient bill, receipt, case paper, discharge card to suit the stationery that you use or to make it sized to exactly the size of your stationery. You can also change fonts, layouts on the page of different information bits and so on. Then accounts, operation theater information. So this includes billing as well as medical information about the operations. Then if you have billing counters, you can set up access security so that billing registrars or billing clerks can use only billing related information. They don't have access to the clinical data probably. So this is a user access security aspect of customization. In stores, you may allow only the stores page where they can make entries of stock issues and stock receipts. They may not really see any other page of billing or admission or clinical details or prescription, case paper. It is entirely the hospital's choice to allow a particular operational point with different features or restrict them from different features. Then admission and bed details and lab x-ray. So if you have investigation centers, diagnostic centers, then you can set up terminals there and you can customize what is to be allowed for the uh, clerks there or the technicians there to see and what is not to be allowed. This is again a user access security aspect. And then of course clinical data analysis. Let's go to the software and quickly see what are the customization facilities available. Of course, there is master data setup, investigations, you can define them here, diagnosis names, procedure details, operation details, bill breakup, This is where you define all, let's say, diagnostic centers. You have 4 of them, so you define them here. Then you have indoor and OPD service charges, so you can specify them here. And probably you can actually put here the charges, so they will be automatically populated when we make the entry of the patient bill, and so on. Then you can also specify bill breakup order, so we just specified the bill breakups. So I can actually specify that this OT charges, this appears first in the detail bill, then comes monitor, then comes oxygen, and so on. So I can actually serialize how they should appear into the bill. Again, a customization feature. Ward masters, where you can define the wards and beds under the wards and so on. And insurance company's info. Then you can define medicine groups and names and other stock details. Then consultant information and referring doctors information. Then you can also specify account groups and account heads, and so on. Now these are the features which any standard medical software offers. So I'm not going to really go into details of those. But let's go to details of what exactly is the customization that we are looking for. Let's go to clinical page. Let's go to complaints. Okay, now this is a standard format that we have put together for a surgical complaints case paper or clicking form. Now let's say that we want to add here 2 symptoms, test 1, test 2, and have test 1, 1, test 1, 2, and test 2, 1, test 2, 1 as additional symptoms. Let's say you want them. So test is something, can be a clinical symptom. And then I'm going to say that I also want to add one more page here called test page. And under test page I want to add a text box and a date box. So let's see how we can do that. So I'll go out of this form. This is a data entry form, so we don't need this. I go to utility, clicking formats, chief complaints. Okay, now this is how the form is designed, right? So you have gastrointestinal page, you have respiratory page. You can see that the options here are changing. You have neurological page, you have genitourinary page, and so on. Now as we said, I'm going to add one more page here called test page. Then I add one variable called, this is a sub page within that page, so I'm going to add one page, and then I'm going to add another page, just for the sake of understanding how it works. So under page 1 I'm going to add a symptom, as we talked about, test 1 symptom, or let's call it symptom 1. Let's make it little more systematic. Symptom 1. I can have various types of symptoms. So I can have, let's say 2, and I say show. What does show mean is that this word will be entered or stored in the case paper. If I don't click this, this will only be shown here when you design it, but not in the case paper. And then I am going to specify options here as normal, let's say, and then another option as abnormal. Add symptom. Okay, these are various options that are types of options you can specify. So we specified 2 here, and we specified options here. 3 is a text box, 4 is a edit box, and 5 is a date. So let's try it out. So I would say I want to say heart rate or blood pressure. Now this is something that I will have to type in. So I say 3, show. Then probably I would like to have a unlimited. Then I would like to have a, sorry, I pressed something wrong there. I pressed delete. Sorry for that. So let me do that again. Blood pressure 3, show. Okay, then add another symptom. I would say my notes. So I want to have unlimited typing facility, so I say 4, but I don't want this word to be stored in case paper, so I don't say show there. And then I would add date of, let's say, next visit. It can be any date, so let's say 5. Under page 2 I would just add one symptom called symptom 2, and for that I'll give options, white, yellow, rate, just sample options. So this is and we also decided to insert two more in our page. So let's do it in gastrovascular, and in page I would add test 1, let's say type 2, and I add an option test none 1, test 1 2, then I add a symptom here, test 2, again option 2, I would show this test 2 1, test 2 2. Remember that we have not shown test 1, we have chosen that this word does not appear on the case paper. Okay, so we have customized it. Now let us see how it looks when we make the patient's data entry. So clinical, I go to complaints. Now as you see, we have added these two symptoms, test 1, test 2. We chose not to show test 1, so it is not appearing here, but we chose to show test, so it is seen here. Then I can say that I want to say test 1, and for these symptoms I want to click this parameter. Then we also added a test page where I said symptom 1 is normal, blood pressure is, let's say, 120/80, and then I wanted an unlimited typing space, so that space is here. And then I wanted a date of next visit, so let's say I'm going to visit this patient, doctor again. The patient is going to visit the doctor again on this day, and I say replace earlier findings. Now this is what I actually clicked, right? I chose not to show test 1, so it has not appeared here, but I chose to show test 2, so it has come into the case paper. Then on test page, on page 1, we click symptom 1, so it was normal, blood pressure was this. This is unlimited typing that we did. And then this was a date, we chose not to show it. So had we shown it, it would have been here, next visit date, and this would have been more meaningful. Now if I want to change this, probably this is a junk I don't want in the case paper, I can just delete it and save it. And then probably I say here next visit date and save it. If I see it again, this is what I typed. So as you can see, we basically customized this form completely. You can go on adding pages, you can go on removing pages, you can erase this entire form, and you can remake the form completely. So this gives a complete control to the doctor over what medical information the software should process, the software should store, or in the first place the software should offer to click. And I think this is a extreme level of customization that any software can provide. Of course, as you use this complaints form, you would slowly realize that okay, these are the symptoms I would like there for clicking. So just note them down, and probably you can sit one time, open the customization form, add those symptoms, so they are ready for you to use from the next patient immediately. The same facility is available for history form, the examination form, advice and follow-up form, analysis data entry form, and then on the operation notes, operation form. So you can actually customize all these clicking formats here, all of them here. So this was about building in the medical intelligence part. We also talked about medicine prescription library. So if you see medicine prescription, and for acute, let's say I select this acute gastroenteritis. In our last demo session, we saved 2 prescriptions to this library as a regularly used prescriptions for this diagnosis. So I select prescription 1, it populates, I just say print, and I get out. It is hardly 2 to 3 seconds once you have prepared your prescription library. So for example, if I make this for 3 days only, and I say that this is a different kind of prescription for a similar diagnosis, I can save it again as prescription 3. So next time I have 3 prescriptions to select from. So if you give this a meaningful name, it will make it very easy for you to choose a prescriptions or one prescription from the list. So it populates, just say print. If you want to make changes, and say done. It is done. So this is what makes clinical data entry extremely easy. And this becomes very important for a doctor, because doctor has hardly any time to spend with the computer. We understand that if doctor looks at computer and not at the patient, it is it is quite possible that patient will feel insecure, and patient's security is the first most important factor for which patient comes to the doctor in the first place. So we have tried to really make this package very easy to use and very fast to operate, not only for the doctor but also for the receptionist, also for the investigation technicians, and also for the billing clerks. So that is where all the customization revolves around. You can also customize a patient bill. For example, this is the patient bill format, and probably you don't want this printed, so just delete it and it will not appear in the bill anymore. You may want your hospital name to shift a bit, so shift it to the left hand side if you want it. If you don't want it to be printed at all because you are using this printed stationery, you have an option of customizing this format itself. I can just delete it, or I can switch the print header off. So switching print header off is also a very important customization aspect, which we will see after this. But to remain to this format, I can move this. I can probably, I don't want bold format here, so I go to format, font, and I say this is not bold, this is regular, so it will then appear regular. So as you can see, you can remove fields, you can change the layout, you can change the size, and probably do almost everything that a developer can do for you in this report designer. And it is not only single document, but it is all the documents that this software generates are available to you for customization. For example, if you look at regular case paper, then this is the format, and you can actually do the layout changes. You can change the fonts to what you like, and then that will work like that. You can also customize all the reports. So a bill register which is generated, receipt ledger which is generated, IPD register, OPD register, almost all registers which are generated from the software you can customize. For example, IPD register, it appears like this. So as I said, if you want to make all these simple, so just select them, go to format, go to font, say regular, maybe increase the size, that's it, and then it will start appearing like this. So you can change all these layouts also. Another aspect that we just talked about was menu security. In this software, you can actually define 10 levels of users. So you can have admin users, billing users, cashiers, nursing stations, or nurses, consultants, technicians, and so on. So you can define them. So for example, let me call them technician, yeah, and then save. Now what we can do is, okay, see, we just changed this to technician, so it appears here. You can see the ticks here. What this means is account groups, account head wise detail, account heads, and account tree structure, which are the menu options here in the data, are not allowed to a person who has technician type of rights. He is also not allowed something called case paper library formats customization, OOPS format customization, or text formats, and so on. So as you can see here, you can actually click a particular option here. So for example, advanced adjustment to customers, you would not like this to be seen by nurses, so just click it here. So nurses will not be able to open this menu option at all. So you can actually enable and disable features for these 10 levels and associate one of the level with the user. So the user will automatically get those enabled rights. You can also have this similar kind of settings for patient form. So for example, if let's look at okay, so for example, if you don't want bill to hospital report to be seen by nurses or by, let's say, by the receptionist, so just click it and it is locked. It will not be available to that person. So you can similarly lock delete patients, delete receipts, or delete bill, edit receipt, these facilities from anybody else than billing clerk, or probably only the administrator should be able to do it. So you can customize all that as required. So this is also a very important aspect, that you are able to restrict very important information of your hospital from different users, because we cannot trust every user with all the information. It's not about human trust, but it may be about his inaccuracy, or he may just delete something by mistake. So we may not trust him in his maturity of operating the software, and so on. So we have also seen how to do that, restrict it completely. So we have seen how we can basically customize all the medical intelligence, all the reports and documents that are generated from the software, then also secure data, which is very, very important. I think these are all the customization features that I wanted to share with you. We also have a very powerful feature built in since a long time, called VHM Troubleshooter. Many times what happens is, in our operations, day-to-day operations, there are power fluctuations or power shutdowns, and then our machines suffer sudden shutdowns. In that case, it is possible that data may go corrupt. VHM Troubleshooter would try to recover the data 95% of times. I would say we have hardly faced any cases where we have really lost data, probably 3 or 4 only in so many years. So you can run this troubleshooter after such a power down, and it will try to recover all your data. Or you may run it whenever you see that software is not showing you the information which it should. So run this and it will try to recover the data automatically. This is one of the features which has made this software operate for years together without our support with our customers, and they have been extremely happy about this facility as well as the customization facilities. I think that is one of the key factors of this software, which you will not find generally in other softwares in the market. And I would say that this is one feature for which you should buy this software. Okay, so that's all about the customization. We'll talk about other aspects in some other sessions. Thank you for your time, and all the best.